all your favorite hats at the same time? Well, we wouldn't either. That is why we suggest you use only what you need. Switch off all electrical appliances and lights in unused rooms. Remember, use only what you need and save power today. Switch and save. Zesco, powering the nation.
Apple Max. Take it to the max.
Introducing the Smart Kicker from iConnect, the most affordable smartphone on the market. With a follow focus capable 2-megapixel camera, you can't miss out on any of the action. Over 400 hours of standby battery time and 32 gig external memory. That's more than enough space for all your series, music, pics, apps and games. Get yours today from iConnect for a limited offer of only 499 kwacha, including 300 MB iSpot internet from iConnect. The Smart Kicker, available at iConnect. iConnect, make it happen.
Want to just get out of town with your friends and family? Are you having a corporate getaway and have no adequate transport? Then this here is what you need to listen to. A brand new 35-seater Yutong luxury bus is now up for hire at an affordable and negotiable rate. It comes fully equipped with aircon, TV for your relaxation, music soothing your trip, and DVD players to give you variety. Book now by calling 0955 0966 or 977 844 141.
What makes the new Yo-Yo Chipsy so unique? 100% natural ingredients. Nothing artificial. Just a pure experience of freshness. Potato chips. We know you'll love them.
Hey girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Pure Jungle.
Thank you so much for joining us and welcome to Prime TV's main news. To begin, we look at the headlines. Mississippi residents demand for a clinic. Laz condemns PF for attacking High Court Judge Mwila Chitabo. Albinos living in fear following reported killings of albino persons. And in foreign news, Tanzania arrests witch doctors over attacks on albinos. These and other stories coming up. News. My name is Daniel Tonga. Residents of Misisi Compound have asked government to construct a clinic in the area to enable people access medical services. Speaking to Prime TV in Lusaka, the residents indicate that they are always turned away from Chawama and Kamwala clinics whenever they seek medical attention. The residents say it is important that government constructs a clinic to save lives. They say politicians should honor their pledges and promises they made during election campaigns and ensure they put up a clinic. The residents say it has become dangerous for them to move to the nearest clinics in the night in case of an emergency. We have more in the following report.
After high hopes for a better life after the January 20th elections, Misisi residents still lack a clinic. This has made their lives difficult as they have to walk more than 5 kilometers to the nearest clinic in Chawama or Kamwala. The residents have complained that it is difficult to have their patients go to the clinics, especially in the night in cases of emergencies. Those spoken to by Prime TV have called upon government to build the clinic in the area.
Kangono chabe kauti tizipeza po chani po kurumukira fukwa matenda siyazivika kuti wazajwana ntau bwanje makamaka mamimba kambiri ya mauka usiku ndiye ija wakati mnyamuke muyende mpenzana na kawarara wakupoka kachora katu materi pena ngupapira panjira
au mwanje na problemu natukwata ikusana ngefe balanda baneso bakwati limbira in case umwana alwala obushiku mwamona ero manje libita kuti nakarupia kifya kwati limbi wende panshi no mwana wala filya wala kubana musebo limbina bakabolala abatabe paye abantu abo wala sije toseto ukwete lokuma pamulu babale kuma nomba kumwe skwami sisufuti na kyombisa kwipa ya fya abantu babale ipa ya abantu so manje mwatu wafa kufa kinkiyera
ukamwala nga waya kuya kuipisha wafuma kuisanga walanda chikwa Misisi ati mule yako na kuchawama so kuchawama kutalifuta ikalira pakati so nga wayi mafuti kuya kuchawama abachawo mule ya kukamwala nomba walikuwa tobu afya nga waya kwa kanyama bayatilo fumine kuisa walanda chikwa Misisi nishita muhidire kukamwala na kubati weba ati mule yoko so ifana kliniki iliyo sitatu wakwati.
For government, building a clinic in Misisi has taken long due to the geographical location of the area.
Our geography determines where we place the health institution. In order to cover the whole country, we talk in terms of the coverage of a given center, health center, the coverage of a hospital.
This is the news that displeased residents of Misisi Compound would not want to hear after high hopes that government would build a clinic as soon as possible. The compound has a population of about 90,000 people with a dire need of good health care services that they have not had for many years. Gloria Mumba, Prime TV News in Lusaka.
The Law Association of Zambia, LAZ, has condemned Patriotic Front PF Secretary General Davis Chama for castigating High Court Judge Mwilach Tabo for allegedly overturning the decision by President Edgar Lungu to set up a tribunal against the Director of Public Prosecutions DPP Mutembo Nchito. LAZ President George Chisanga says his organization is concerned with the statement made on Judge Chitabo and Charlie in the ongoing cases. Mr. Chisanga says the totality of the statement made by Mr. Chama, who occupies such a high office in the hierarchy of the party in government, are inflammatory, unacceptable and uncalled for. He says the open attack on the Honorable Judge is disrespectful to the independence of the judiciary, which all well-meaning citizens have a duty to protect. The country has continued to face a critical shortage of fuel despite an assurance from government that the crisis will soon come to an end. A check by Prime TV in Lusaka found many filling stations still without fuel, and motorists have continued to queue up for the commodity in other filling stations. Some motorists talked to say they are disappointed with government that up to now there is still no fuel. They say their businesses have been affected because they are failing to function well without fuel. The motorists have charged that lack of fuel will affect the country's growth because production will be affected.
Lusaka is well known for hectic traffic congestion, but now it is not the case because of critical fuel shortage that has persisted in the country. This situation is worsening by the day, despite government's assurance that the fuel crisis will soon end. For motorists, this shortage has hit them where it pains the most, at the pocket, as this has affected their businesses and has brought a lot of losses.
As you can see, I'm from the farm, so I have to rush out by feet. And I can't by feet. I don't know when I'm going to buy feet.
Economic analysts have charged that lack of fuel coupled with a continued tumble of the Zambian kwacha, these are signs of an economy taking a nosedive. Government says there is no need for people to panic because government has put in place necessary measures to normalize the situation. One wonders if the situation gets worse and if it is not resolved, will there be any vehicle moving on these roads by next week? For Prime TV News, Daniel Tonga, Lusaka.
The albino community says it is living in fear following the reported killings of albino persons in neighboring Tanzania. National Albinism Initiative Networking of Zambia Media and Advocacy Secretary Derek Piri has raised concerns over the killings, saying if not carefully looked into, the killings can spill over to Zambia. He has called on the Zambian government to put up in place measures to safeguard the interests and lives of albino persons in Zambia to avoid the mass killings like those in Tanzania. Mr. Piri was reacting to reports from Tanzania indicating that albino persons are being killed mainly by witch doctors with their body parts used in rituals. At least 200 people have been arrested in Tanzania as part of a nationwide crackdown on witch doctors linked to a wave of albino attacks and murders, according to the police. Alliance for Better Zambia ABZ has charged that there is need for opposition political parties to work with the ruling party in order to foster development in the country. ABZ President Father Frank Walia says there is nothing wrong for a political party to work with the governing party, adding that this is not the first time it is happening in Zambia. He says it is the kind of politics that can be described as mature kind of politics by giving checks and balances. The ABZ leader was speaking to Prime TV News in Lusaka. Father Walia says it is not his party that has shown maturity of working and engaging the party in government, but that other opposition political party have done the same.
Nothing wrong with an opposition political party working with the governing party. It's not happening for the first time in Zambia. It's not only here in Zambia where it happens everywhere in the world. It's part of the kind of politics that we call mature politics. So it is not true. And we want to believe that we have continued to be an independent political party, but of course we are supporting the governing party. And when we think that there are issues that need to be raised, we have several avenues to raise those issues, including personally going to State House and talking to the president. And we are not the only opposition political party that is engaging the president personally at State House or wherever is found. We are not the only ones.
Several people on Friday morning escaped death when the highest minibus they were traveling in overturned in Lusaka's Mungwi Road. The minibus coming from Zingalume and heading to town was hit from behind by a speeding Land Rover registration number AAM 8227, causing the driver of the minibus to lose control, resulting into the minibus to career off the road and overturned. 3 people, however, have been critically injured from the accident. Those injured sustained broken legs and fractured arms. The victims have since been rushed to the hospital, while the driver of the minibus and Land Rover were picked up by police for questioning.
Yes.
We're now taking our first break. Stay with us if you can for other stories coming up after this.
Would you wear all your favorite hats at the same time? Well, we wouldn't either. That is why we suggest you use only what you need. Switch off all electrical appliances and lights in unused rooms. Remember, use only what you need and save power today. Switch and save. Zesco, powering the nation.
What's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Potato sticks, freaky fries. Get that awesome crunch.
Welcome back, and now other local stories. Patriotic Front says people of Zambia will not eat tribalism or regionalism, but what they need is to have development taken to their doorsteps. PF Director for Media and Publicity Brian Hapunda says politicians need to show oneness and refrain from campaigning on tribal lines. Mr. Hapunda says politicians need to understand that people of Zambia are interested in seeing their leaders reaching out to them and not for them using regionalism to gain political mileage for their gains. He has since called on political leaders to embrace each other regardless of the political affiliation.
Time has come as Zambia, 50 years after independence,
that we must show oneness and unity and in the name of one Zambia, one nation, and that we must refrain from campaigning on tribal lines or coming into political arena using the regional this. We need all regions in this country, and we need everyone, every tribe in this country being able to govern and able for us to have that stability and stamina, rather than trying to gain political advantage using regionalism. The people of Zambia will not eat regionalism. The people of Zambia will not eat tribalism. But the people of Zambia are interested in it. We need to develop it, and we must strive. All of us as politicians, we must strive to be able to offer the people of Zambia that meaningful development that they want, the meaningful solution that they want, devoid of tribalism, devoid of regionalism.
Foundation for Democratic Process, FODEP, has described as unfortunate reports that President Edgar Lungu is ready to resign if found unfit by medical doctors. FODEP Executive Director McDonough Chipenzi says if Mr. Lungu is to resign, it would require another by-election barely a month after holding the January 20th, 2015 presidential election. He says President Lungu knew very well about his medical condition before vying for the position of presidency. Mr. Chipenzi says had Mr. Lungu allowed other people within his party to contest the presidential election, Zambia would not have found itself in this very embarrassing and awkward post-election quagmire. He has appealed to Mr. Lungu that should he resign, he should consider speeding up the process of the enactment of the constitution. Mr. Chipenzi says there is need for him to reduce his workload and assign more work to his vice president and cabinet in order for him to remain active as a ceremonial president. Finland and Zambia have signed a financing agreement that will support the Zambia National Farmers Union program in Zambia. Finnish ambassador to Zambia, Timo Okonin, says additional funds of about 3,800 euros have been given to ZNFU to support agriculture programs. He says the Finnish government is focusing more on agriculture because it plays a critical role in diversifying the Zambian economy and creating jobs. Mr. Okonen says the partnership between Finnish government and Zambia National Farmers Union has brought innovation important for developing the agriculture sector in Zambia. And ZNFU Executive Director Ndambo Ndambo says ZNFU is looking for a market where farmers will sell produce, and with good support that would help a lot. He was speaking during the signing ceremony in Lusaka.
You may already know, Finland, together with Sweden and WeEffect, supports the implementation of the ZNFU Strategic Plan 2012-2017. And last year, Finland provided a financial contribution of €4 million for the period of 2014 to 2015. Agriculture continues to be one of Finland's key focal areas of our development cooperation in Zambia, as the sector plays a critical role in diversifying the Zambian economy, job creation, and in reducing poverty and inequality. Finland also recognizes and emphasizes the promotion of private sector-led approaches in increasing agricultural productivity, commercialization, and diversification among small.
Therefore, one of the challenges, Your Excellency, you find in most of the farm organizations has been capacity to deliver services to members or to farmers. Yes, government does provide also support, but there comes a time that the farmers themselves have to be able to be serviced by their own organization. And that has been a challenge, and therefore your support to the Farmers Union makes the NFU what it is today, because without that capacity, there's no way we can talk about so many services.
We are now taking another break. Join us for some international and sports news when we return.
Apple Max. Take it to the max.
What makes the new Yo-Yo Chipsy so unique? 100% natural ingredients. Nothing artificial. Just a pure experience of freshness. Chipsy potato chips. We know you'll love them.
Welcome back. And now in foreign news. At least 200 people have been arrested in Tanzania as part of a nationwide crackdown on witch doctors linked to a wave of albino attacks and murders, police have said. Police said on Thursday that they had arrested 225 unlicensed traditional healers and soothsayers during a special operation carried out in several parts of the East African country and due to be extended to all 30 regions. Police spokesperson Advera Bulimba said the police campaign would target the entire network of gangsters, traders and witch doctors, adding that 97 of those detained had already appeared in court. The statement also appealed to religious leaders, traditional elders, politicians and journalists to continue the awareness campaign against superstitious belief that are holding back the development of the country. Albinos are sometimes abducted and killed, fueled by beliefs that their body parts will bring luck. Islamic State has accepted a pledge of allegiance from Nigeria's militant group Boko Haram, according to an audio message. In the tape, which has not been verified, the Islamic State spokesman says the aim of establishing a caliphate has now been extended to West Africa. Last week, Boko Haram posted a message saying it wanted to join ranks with Islamic State. Boko Haram began a military campaign to impose Islamic rule in northern Nigeria in 2009. The conflict has since spread to neighboring states. For these and other stories, we monitored Al Jazeera in the following reports.
Egypt's Gulf neighbours say they are going to inject more than $12 billion to support the Egyptian economy. The promises were made at the Global Economic Summit being held in Sharm el-Sheikh, attended by heads of state from across the region. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi also spoke at the event where he unveiled what's been described as an ambitious economic recovery plan, hoping, he says, that investment will help cut unemployment by 10% in the next 5 years. Well, a protest against this economic summit's been held in the Cairo suburb of Maadi. Demonstrators carrying placards saying Egypt is not for sale. Protesters also called on the army to release political detainees and to stay out of political life. Defeating Boko Haram. Nigeria now admitting that mercenaries are helping in the fight against the armed. Corruption scandal, a huge rally expected in support of Brazil's president over a scandal at one of the country's biggest companies. And is the stalemate over? Swedish prosecutors finally agreed to travel to London to question WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange over sex assault allegations.
And finally, in sports. ZESCO's united ability to reach the group phase of the 2015 CAF Champions League will be tested on Saturday when the Zambian champions host Kalum of Guinea in Ndola. The two sides clash in the first leg match of the Champions League first round at Levi Mwanawasa Stadium. ZESCO and Kalum are coming into this match with two contrasting fortunes from the preliminary round. ZESCO struggled to go past Mbabane Swallows in the preliminary round despite winning 2-1 on aggregate, but Kalum eased past Ivory Coast Sewe Sports 3-1 over 2 legs to book a date against ZESCO. However, ZESCO coach George Lwandamina believes he has a team capable of upsetting Kalum. And Kalum coach Francois Zahuai is upbeat over his team's chances of getting a desirable result in Ndola. And as we conclude, we take a look at what made the headlines. Mississippi residents demand for a clinic. Laz condemns PF for attacking High Court Judge Muila Chitabo. Albinos living in fear following reported killings of albinos persons. And in foreign news, Tanzania arrests witch doctors over attacks on albinos. And that's just about what we had on the news. Thank you so much for your time and God bless you. My name has been Daniel Tonga. Bye-bye for now.
You see, I have never fought with a lion. I have never hunted through the forest in pursuit of food. But I do have the fighting spirit. Because for decades, my people fought for freedom. And in 1964, we won. I love to do the Fwemba, the Kalela, the Kwasa Kwasa. I wear chitenge. So does my girlfriend. I eat crisps, not crisps. I love Nsima, Kapenta, Chihuahua, Delele. I'm Josh, and I'm proud to be Zambian.
iConnect, celebrating 50 years of Zambia's independence. #OnlyPazed. iConnect, make it happen.
Hey girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Potato sticks, freaky fries. Get that awesome crunch.
Would you wear all your favorite hats at the same time? Well, we wouldn't either. That is why we suggest you use only what you need. Switch off all electrical appliances and lights in unused rooms. Remember, use only what you need and save power today. Switch and save. ZESCO, powering the nation.